Toronto's total operating budget for 2026 amounts to $18.9 billion. About 24% of that is made up by provincial and federal funding, and 31% will be covered by property taxes. But it's the lowest property tax hike in Mayor Olivia Chow's time in office, at 2.2%.
You want a city where if you work here, you can afford to live here.
Chow says the modest increase is thanks to increased taxes for the top 2% of luxury home buyers and home speculators. But Councillor Brad Bradford says the property tax hike is not sustainable and is concerned about the mayor using about $1.7 billion of reserve funding in the budget.
This is a one-year plug to improve Mayor Chow's re-election prospects in the fall.
Mayor Chow says the city will restore $3 billion into its reserves this year. Councillor Paula Fletcher is calling out Chow's opponents.
There's people that support the mayor, those who don't. And councillors that don't support the mayor found last year's budget and before just too high. They wouldn't support that. Now they're finding this one too low.
The TTC, meantime, will be receiving a funding increase of nearly $1.5 billion, going towards transit operations and affordability measures, like a fare freeze and fare cap set to go into effect later this year. Now, the budget also includes a funding increase of $93.8 million for the Toronto Police Service. And Chief Myron Demkew is justifying this increase despite the police corruption scandal announced last week that saw the arrest of 8 officers, 7 of them active members.
This budget supports our multi-year hiring plan, and part of our multi-year hiring plan spoke about the need for us to reconstitute our capacity to deliver frontline services, but also to ensure we had adequate and appropriate supervision.
Earlier this week, TPS officials suggested that understaffing may have led to below-par supervision at 12 Division, where most of the arrested officers were based. About $20 million of the police budget is earmarked to hire more than 140 new officers over the next year. But Mayor Chow says the vast majority of the funding will support a pay bump for officers.
The budget this year funds the collective agreement, which was negotiated last year.
The funding increase brings the Toronto Police Service's total operating budget for the year to just over $1.4 billion. City Council had about $2 million in the budget to play with during the debate. Councillors voted to dole it out to several different initiatives, including a rat and coyote response plan and a youth innovation hub in Scarborough. The budget was approved 24-0. Michelle Mackey, City News.